making their way out of the base. So this is sort of what we were assuming DragonX were going to do. The Gragas was picked up a little bit later than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a R4 pickup, but the Braum is really throwing me through a loop. If that was a Karma, if it was a lot of different choices on the bottom side, any sort of mage support would be strong. But we'll have to trust in DRX and CV Max as to what they can get done here. I don't know. I just feel like there isn't the amount of projectiles that the Unbreakable can actually be useful against.
There's not a lot that it's going for, which is the most scary thing. Now, Caitlyn traps are really strong against this team that T1 has drafted. Aatrox, Trundle, LeBlanc, Kalista, and Taric. It has an enormous power spike at 1 and 2 items. From that point forward, though, DRX do start outscaling. All of the members will get very tanky. They will get very durable. Caitlyn is a monster once she starts going to 4, 5, and 6 items, and she does have the leg up in bot lane. Now, fortunately, because Set's favored against Aatrox and has dual effectiveness with Ninja Tabbies early on against the Trundle and the Aatrox, he's probably able to be on an island, which means Pyosik can protect the Ornn, protect bot lane, and a lot of the effort is on depth. I'm going to give DRX... Well, I'm thinking DRX is going to win this game. I'm giving them the draft edge.
And they have Hail of Blades Caitlyn, which is exactly what we're looking for. Think about the early trades for the Caitlyn that are already pretty difficult to deal with given her obnoxious range. She's going to be shooting way faster now as well. So it's now 3 bullets for the price of 1 is what it sort of feels like. And we'll see whether they can utilize that. Think about how fast they're going to get stunned as well. This is exactly why Hail of Blades is very strong if you're in a lane with the Braum, because if that Winter's Bite lands, someone's getting stunned. That's just how it is. So really cool adaptation from DRX, and this is something that they've obviously been putting to work in the Scrim lab. 3 tanks. So actually, the scaling potential of it is quite high.
Yes.
Not too bad at all. So yeah, on top of all of the other things, that is also another advantage. So DRX, we'll see whether they do put on that, put on the pressure to try and grab that one as quickly as possible. Predator now activated, as Pyosik did go back home. But he's moving towards top side. Not actually prioritizing that Drake at all, as they do get vision on it. They're not looking to take it anytime soon.
Well, in 2020 spring, everyone is undefeated here, except for Kana.
Effort's had a pretty good
That's why they
run
picked these champions, so they can bring Kana across the finish line.
Yeah. As this is the first Caitlyn for Deft so far this season, but I assure you guys, he is very much a Caitlyn player. But here we've got a fight. The Superplex is going to bring Kana underneath the turret, and it's going to finish off the Aatrox so comfortably. Really nice first blood to go over to DRX. That stat now going to be increased as the Dragon has been started in full vision of DRX, but because the top side of the map is where the jungler is, there's not going to be any contest. So T1 will be able to trade their top laner for this Mountain Drake.
Getting that mountain, let's take a look at it. Kalista, 44 armor, 31 MR.
Yeah.
And she got 2 MR in death.
And
down
also
in bot lane, and
yeah, I just want to add to that.
Used to.
I want to add to that point because it's not even going to get better before it gets way worse for DRX, because Teddy hits a 2-item power spike, Deft hits like a 4-item power spike. They're going to have to wait so long before this Caitlyn is able to get through a trough and then be that powerhouse. The early game was where Caitlyn's able to abuse that range advantage. And they just couldn't do it this game. Oh. Potential
fight brewing here in River. Set as a beautiful angle.
Well, the Ornn comes down as well. Great 4-man stun though, and the Ornn not going to be able to be returned. And Elim down very, very low. There's a superplex into the backline as Doran finds a facebreaker onto a couple of members. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but it looks like Doran shouldn't be able to make his way out. Doesn't have the Haymaker available just yet, as Kana cannot catch back up. Deft takes down Faker, though, who led them on their merry way topside, and in the end, DragonX do win out the team fight.
They win out the team fight, and what I really want to highlight is that was without an Ornn.
Feeling very comfortable, but the thing is, he can't hit Chovy, because otherwise he doesn't get that double lifesteal healing effectiveness that he really wants. As now T1 have started off the Baron, DRX a little bit late on the pickup as Carrier moves on over. They do get the bad news. It's now Pyosik. He's thrown down his Predator, T1, and moving out of the way. And they haven't gone off the Baron just yet. LM is still there. As now DRX decide to pull the trigger. The on-on comes back. They do get the knockdown as there's the fate's call. But the Gragas just explodes. I'm not even sure how. He died so fast. The Taric is going to fall. But now that's only a 1-for-1. As DRX is being collapsed on. This is the fight that T1 wanted as Chovy is so incredibly low. The set falls down. Deft is still alive though as FAKER. He's wandering around. He's not able to get there. Oh my goodness. The ace in the hole was so damn close. And somehow we don't have a decisive fight. We don't have an ace, but T1 moved back to the Baron.
When move back to the Baron, Aatrox has to be really careful. They have teleport on Doran and Chovy, but Deft is dead!
What is he doing there? It's just insane. The Infernal Chain's pulling back, and yeah, he explodes. A double kill for Teddy, and an overreach for DRX when they just straight up couldn't be there. Oh, disaster for the Dragon X camp when they were playing the Do-Si-Do so beautifully, and then it all just went wrong.
They were playing it really well, and then just look at this Ornn ultimate. It was a one-man aimed at Kalista initially, and then set the opposite way. And Teddy just doing so much inside of this team fight, never gets held down by anyone. Deft trying to do everything that he could to deal damage to come back into life. Piochek trying to hang on the best that he could, ended up blowing his flash.
Well, that's a Baron up T1, and this is going to be Inhibitor going down very, very quickly. 2.5 minutes still left on this Baron, and it feels like T1 have just blown this wide open. Just shows, I mean, DRX, if they had been able to get the first Drake, if they had been able to get the most recent Drake, or anything like that, I mean, when you've got 6 Drakes that have been taken and you had Soul Point, oh, so dangerous. If we check out this fight, FAKER just eliminates Piochek before he could do anything.
Yeah, Piochek was not a factor inside of this fight, and Deft did not have the kind of free deal that he should. Watch as he turns his attention onto FAKER, and he can't get back into the fight at all, as he's worried about just getting locked up by Kana. He eventually ends up dying thereafter. Now, however, Baron is alive on T1, but the game is still going to come down to Soul Point. The gold score is virtually negligible, Atlas. We're at 43 minutes in live game timer. So elixirs are coming out, full builds are nearing completion, ornaments. I would say that DRX is still favored in the Ocean Soul fight, but T1 has outdanced them 3 times in a row now.
And now you've also got Super Minions
she has
moving up the
Bloodthirster
middle.
now.
Yeah. We'll see whether that is going to make the difference here for DRX and for Deft, because this is a Caitlyn that is very, very strong at this stage of the game, and Teddy won't get stronger than this unless he can sell his boots, but boots are more important for a Kalista, so that is not likely. Deft might be able to fit in that extra item into that final slot, as now FAKER looking to try and lock down Piochek once again. Feels like one of the last remaining targets here available for FAKER. As Carrier also showing that he is another one of those targets. Basically 4 versus 5 right here as Chovy has to flash to get out of the way of Kana, as LM down to about half health, but he is a Trundle, so isn't one of the champions susceptible to being chunked. He's going to get a whole lot of that health back.
Oh man, it just might be T1 getting Ocean Soul, and if they get that,
oh god,
we've seen what it's done.
Fight for it.
Yeah, they're not going to fight for it. Chovy just panicking a little bit too much. He went for that collision into the wall to try to get a knock-up. He overextended, and Teddy chased him right over the wall, ended up having to blow his flash, and T1 are probably just going to walk away with this game now.
Yeah, it feels like the snowball has started to roll too fast for DRX to even grab. As they're now waiting underneath their inhibitor turret bottom side. I think DRX have one last team fight in them before this game gets decided. But I don't know whether it's going to go their way, as FAKER's poking his head in once again, and he makes LeBlanc look like far more of a scaling champion than she has any right to be honest. As the game goes on, I feel like FAKER just gets stronger instead of the champion that he's playing. Chovy doesn't get that knock up. He was expecting FAKER to dive over that wall. But doesn't choose that moment. FAKER comes in there, but not able to find too much meaningful damage onto Deft. Speaking of meaningful damage, I mean, the inhibitor turret bottom lane is basically doing nothing. It's Facebreaker onto FAKER. Not bad there from Doran.
Looks like the top turret is actually going to be able to fix itself with the minion wave.
Yep.
And so the only out still existing in this game would be if DRX can somehow get the Infernal Dragon or some sort of a miracle team fight with Caitlyn just getting complete free damage. So
Yeah.
DRX, they're definitely not favored in any team fight from here forward. They do have insane amounts of Grievous wounds on basically all of their champions, but Ocean Soul is so strong right now, Atlas. 1.5 minutes until the Baron ends up coming up. And maybe we're going to have a full game of ornaments, which is not something we normally get to see in Ornn games.
Yeah, exactly. Carrier. What's he going to be able to pick up next? Looks like Locket of the Iron Solari will be coming in. So you're right. That should get there. His Chovy is level 18, ready to dish that one out to his support whenever it is available. Carrier still quite a ways from that one. Needs to go back to base as well, as the Baron is going to be available in 1 minute and 10 seconds approximately. And that will be the fight that DRX will need to win. They'll need to win that. They'll need to get themselves an Elder Drake, and they'll need to really open up this map and wait for their inhibitor to respawn as well. They've got 20 seconds before that one comes back up again. So for the Baron fight, they won't have those super minions moving on in. And I believe they've already killed the last super minion wave that was coming out. So 10 seconds now. And they don't have to deal with those supers. So some respite perhaps. But it's just been T1 winning all of the remaining team fights. Deft has only damage items right now, by the way.
Yeah, ended up selling his item. And so that will help neutralize some of the gap between T1 and DRX now because of that Ocean Soul. But, I mean, also, Aatrox has Spirit Visage. So he's getting the amplified increased heal on an Ocean Soul heal in addition to Death's Dance and Aatrox passive. Absolutely bonkers.
Also, Teddy sold his Hurricane so that he doesn't accidentally hit Chovy. I love it. It's fantastic. Because he gets accidental Grievous wounds. It's not what you want. As DRX move towards the Baron. But T1, they're looking to move towards the base. And DRX going for the Hail Mary. Looks like T1 want the team fight instead of to put them into an awkward position. Faker dashing on over. Kanna looking for the flank. Finds a knock up onto Doran. But the fight hasn't started just yet. Big crit onto Effort as the ultimate flies.
It's all on
onto
Def.
Faker. Yeah, exactly right. Def is this team right now.
They have 2 smites.
They have moved them away from the Baron as well. T1 will have to come in. There's the Cosmic Radiance, but the Ornhorn gets thrown back. It's the Baron that goes over to DRX, but can they win the fight is the question. T1 have them where they want them, but Doran has a very big shield, unable to stand up to Teddy's damages. Chovy is the next option. He goes golden. Deft is still at full health. He can't get towards his
Look at Kanna
whatsoever. Kanna is zoning everyone away. And now DRX are just trying to get back to base where they can. Backs are being channeled, but the vision is going to be there. Big body slam. Deft just auto-attack something, for goodness sake. 5 members converging on the Caitlyn. The autos are coming down. Faker dives onto Deft and explodes him. It's a double kill for the Calista. Make that one a triple. And T1 will win game 1.
If this sequence of events isn't a breathing, living example of Ocean Soul's power, I don't know what is, Atlas. Because that dragon just carried T1 to victory in this team fight. It basically said everyone will not die. And I have no idea. They had they're immortal.
Yeah, I think
with
so.
the dragon, DRX falls in what should have been a really good fight, positioning for